Well, good morning. We have completed our series on social justice, and allow me to respond to just a few of the questions that came as a result of this past session, and then I'll tell you where we're going to go from here. First of all, here's a question that came in. Do you think a gay person should be fired from their job because they're gay? Do you think a heterosexual male who lives with another heterosexual female should be fired from their job? Do you think a Christian who engages in premarital sex should be fired from their job? Should a transgender person be able to hold jobs in society? So let me kind of summarize. A gay person, a person living with somebody else, a person who sins, a transgender person. I do not believe they should lose their job for their sexuality demonstrated outside of work, any more than a person's choice of who they choose to worship should be cause for someone to lose their job. The grounds for losing a job for anyone is the same. If someone's not performing their duties of the job description, and they've been given ample opportunity to rise in their performance, it just isn't for them. Well, you know what? Maybe it's best for them and it's best for the organization for them to move on. If someone's not performing their duties, or if a person's personal life could be negatively impacting what they're doing on the job, and that could be for anybody, regardless of their lifestyle. So, gender choice and religious choice should not be grounds for termination from a job. So I want to make that really clear. And then here's a question, and I'm not sure if this person, if you asked this, if you heard the message or not. If you did, then I didn't do a very good job describing it, but I appreciate the question because it really summarizes this last message. Can you help us understand the difference between biblical justice and social justice? And I would recommend going back and watching this last session. The question goes on, and I think it's very thoughtful. Throughout history, the church has been a major force, and they use the word social justice issues, and then go on to say fighting human trafficking, building hospitals, creating schools, tackling poverty around the world, welcoming refugees, feeding kids, prison ministry, homeless ministry, defending the unborn, and any number of movements such as civil rights. Allow me to clarify something, and I want to be as crystal clear as I possibly can. When I say human trafficking, building hospitals, creating schools, tackling poverty, welcoming refugees, feeding children, prison ministry, homeless ministry, defending the unborn, civil rights. Those are all biblical justice issues. Jesus in us causes us to care about injustice. These things listed here, fighting human trafficking, building hospitals, creating schools, tackling poverty, welcoming refugees, feeding children, prison ministry, homeless ministry, defending the unborn, civil rights. These have nothing to do with social justice. Definition is very important. Social justice is about Black Lives Matter, critical race theory, intersectionality, 1619, feminine ferment, reproductive freedom, LGBTQ, equity, woke. Social justice, I argued, when you examine it closely, is everything that is against God's laws. That's why F.A. Hayek was so adamant, former Nobel Prize economist who said, striving after the mirage of social justice destroys individual freedom. And he goes on to say, he said, if I could do a service that we would never use the term social justice. So the ideology of social justice is very deceptive. And God calls us he says these are speculations that should be exposed for what they are. So social justice will never contribute to the cure for things like fighting human trafficking, building hospitals, creating schools, tackling poverty, welcoming refugees, feeding children, prison ministry, homeless ministry, defending the unborn. Social justice will never contribute to the cure of these. It will only cause there to be deeper gaps in our civilization and cause there to be a antagonistic reaction towards one another. It is all, social justice is all about a Marxist agenda for the state to redistribute power. That's all it's about. So, very poignant question. Thank you. Please understand, I hope I wanted to be as clear as I possibly can be. Now, some of you, let me comment about this. Some of you have responded to me on our website where it says, send this question in, and we're not asking on that to give us your name. We wanted to protect your anonymity. Some of you have asked me to respond back privately to you as a result of what you wrote on our website. I can't do that because I can't go back and I just can't respond to you via email back to you. We set it up to purposefully protect your anonymity. The only way I can respond to that is verbally on this. And so by asking me not to do that, I'm not going to respond to those questions. If you would like to, you have access to my email. You're perfectly welcome. If you want to have just a private dialogue, you can respond to my private email. But I'll know who you are by your name. I'm not going to expose that to anybody else. But just so you know, I'm not avoiding your question. If you want me to if you don't want me to respond publicly, I can't do that. I can't respond to you privately based upon the vehicle we've set up, strictly to protect your anonymity.